All right, so we are with another one of our ambassadors, and we're here to talk about optimism. Can you help me or define what optimism is?
Optimism is like finding the positive when there when something like bad happens. It's kind of like trying to find the positive.
Okay. Or even if the things just get tough, right?
Yeah.
So really, optimism is really kind of related to resiliency, because to get through something tough, you got to be resilient. But to be optimistic means you also try to find positives in it, right?
Yeah.
Have you had experiences in your life where you've had tough things or hard things to get through, but have been able to find something good?
Yes, when I moved in with my aunt and uncle, I had to stop some sports that I was doing. But the good part of that was I got to do it for a little bit.
Okay. And you also got to, what was the other positive about moving in with your aunt and uncle?
I got to build a better relationship with them, kind of.
Yeah, which is cool, right?
Yeah.
Because you maybe didn't know them so well, and then you get move in with them for a while, and now you get a chance to really know them and live with them and be around them.
Yeah.
Kind of a cool experience, right? What do you think kids could do to practice optimism at school?
For example, like some kids don't like school, but like trying to like do your best with work, even though you don't like it, just try your best with it.
Yeah, and realize too that school really is a good thing.
Yeah.
Right? You and I, before we started this video, were talking a little bit about some of the things you guys have done in your classroom. And one of the books that you guys have read was about Malala.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people might not know Malala's story, but she was a girl that actually, I'm not going to get too involved, but a girl that went through really tough times just to try to get to school,
Yeah.
right? Why do you suppose she did that?
Because she just loved learning, and learning was good for her. So, but I think she thought that like to get better at things, like to learn.
Yeah. And really, she's being pretty optimistic, right? If you're going through times that are scary and hard, and I mean, for Malala, willing to put your life on the line to go to school, there's got to be something pretty awesome about school for her, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So optimism, looking for the good in things. What about, there's an expression your teacher uses a lot that somebody else has mentioned already in one of our other videos, but what is the expression your teacher uses a lot that you think is pretty optimistic?
The power of yet. I think she has a book about that too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Has she shared it with you guys?
No.
No? So tell me a little bit about the power of yet.
So yet, she's like kind of talks about like with math, she always says you don't get this yet. But just saying you don't get this, like, that's not being optimistic, and it's just saying that you, like, give up.
Yeah. Do you hear kids? It's hard for kids to shift that, isn't it? To do that differently?
Yeah.
Do you still hear kids in your classroom saying, I just don't get it, and getting frustrated?
Yeah.
Yeah? And do you also hear the kids, on the other hand, turn around and say, I don't get this yet, but I'm still going to keep working?
Yeah.
So you hear both, don't you?
Yeah.
So what do you suppose... And we didn't talk about this at all, so this one you might have to think from it. What do you think younger kids, like our kindergartners, first graders, or second graders, what are some things that they can do, maybe with things that they say in their classroom, almost like, I don't know this yet, like, I'm going to keep trying, though. What do you think there's some things they can do to be optimistic in their classroom?
Maybe keep on trying. That's kind of like saying yet. Like, if you just keep on trying.
Okay. And that kind of fits in with resiliency, right?
Yeah.
So, again, the optimistic person is looking for the good in it. So, what could they look for that's good about school? What are some things that you like about school, that you think school is kind of awesome because why? What are some things you love about school?
Because you get to meet new friends and you get to learn new things.
Okay. What are some other opportunities we have at Beartooth that maybe you haven't had before, but you get now that you're here at Beartooth?
Being an ambassador.
Sure.
Isn't the Amazing Shake is coming up? I haven't ever got to do that, and I think some of the presentations I haven't got to do.
Okay.
Um,
That's okay. So some of the things that we do have at Beartooth, but as you get older, there's more opportunities, right?
Yeah.
And even as you get up into middle school or high school, there's more and more opportunities as you go through school, right? So middle school, you get more sports you can choose from. They start getting more clubs in middle schools. Like, what a cool thing, right? So school really does provide some really cool things to be optimistic about and to look forward to and be positive for. Because, yeah, school can be hard, right?
Yeah.
And some kids might not like it because it's hard for them. But the optimistic kid is going to look at it and say what?
Like, at least I get to learn new things and
Get-
try new things.
Yeah. Get to meet new people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get into some clubs or sports, right? That's so awesome. So what would be, if you could give everybody at our school one message to kind of close this video, to end this video, what would be one thing you'd want to say to them that maybe kind of talks a little bit about resiliency or optimism? What would you say to all the kids that are watching and listening?
Maybe just keep on trying and use yet most of the time instead of just saying I can't do this. Just keep on trying.
And look for the positive, right?
Yeah.
Look for the good in everything. Do you believe, sorry, I said it was going to be the last one, but I have one more thought. It made me think of something. Do you believe that everybody has good in them?
Yes.
Or do you believe that some people just don't have any good in them at all?
I believe everybody has some good in them.
So as a student sitting in the classroom, is that kind of something that we could all work on, you think? Is looking for that good in everybody?
Yeah.
Because I think that would be a really optimistic person too. Hey, I thank you so much for being willing to do this video for us and talk about optimism. Thank you so much. And keep on leading. You're doing an awesome job.